What if I told you the biggest reason most people never become wealthy has very little to do with intelligence, education, or even money? Why do some people spend 40 years working, while others spend those same 40 years building businesses that continue paying them long after they stop working? Why do millions of people dream about owning a business, yet only a small percentage ever take the first step? Today, we're going to answer those questions. And before this video is over, you may discover that the biggest thing holding you back isn't your job, it's your mindset. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Alfonso Brooks Bay. This channel is dedicated to helping people think differently about creating income, building wealth, and discovering opportunities that can improve their financial future. This isn't about getting rich overnight. It's not about hype. It's about changing the way you think about income. Because once your thinking changes, your actions begin to change. And when your actions change, your future changes. So let's begin with a little history. Section 1, the history of making money. For most of history, people didn't have jobs. They owned farms, they owned shops, they made furniture, they repaired wagons, they baked bread, they were merchants. Families worked together, building businesses that could be passed down for generations. Then something changed. The Industrial Revolution created factories. Factories needed workers. Companies needed employees. Schools slowly began preparing students, not to become business owners, but to become dependable employees. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that in school, most of us were taught how to get a good job, but very few of us were taught how to build a business, how to create multiple streams of income, how to generate residual income, how to build something that continues paying you after you've gone home. For decades, the goal became graduate, find a good job, work 40 years, retire. But today, the world has changed. Technology has changed. The economy has changed. Income opportunities have changed. Yet many people's thinking hasn't. Section 2, why most people never become entrepreneurs. Here's the truth. Most people don't avoid entrepreneurship because they're lazy. They avoid it because they're afraid. Fear is powerful. Fear whispers, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose money? What if nobody joins? What if I'm not good enough? Sound familiar? Here's another question. Have you ever talked yourself out of an opportunity before you even knew all the facts? Most people have, because fear creates stories long before reality ever has a chance. Section 3, the employee mindset versus the entrepreneur mindset. Let me tell you a story. Imagine two friends graduate from school. Both are intelligent, both work hard, both earn the same salary. The first friend spends every year hoping for a raise. The second friend asks, how can I create another stream of income? 5 years later. The first friend has received several raises. The second friend has built a small business on evenings and weekends. 10 years later. The first friend still depends on one paycheck. The second friend now has income coming from several sources. Neither person worked harder. One simply thought differently. Entrepreneurs don't just ask, how much can I make? They ask, how many ways can I make money? That's a completely different mindset. Section 4, the biggest lies people believe. Let's talk about some of the biggest excuses people tell themselves. I don't have enough money. Did you know many businesses today can be started with very little capital compared to businesses of the past? I don't have enough experience. Experience comes from doing. Every successful entrepreneur started knowing less than they know today. I'm too old. Really? Colonel Sanders didn't build Kentucky Fried Chicken until his 60s. Many successful entrepreneurs started later in life. I'm too young. Young people are building businesses every day using skills they learned online. Age isn't usually the problem, mindset is. Section 5, comfort can become a trap. Here's something few people talk about. Comfort can become expensive. If you're comfortable, you stop growing. If you're comfortable, you stop learning. If you're comfortable, you stop looking for opportunities. Ask yourself this, when was the last time you challenged yourself financially? Not recklessly, but intentionally. Growth rarely happens inside your comfort zone. Section 6, why multiple streams of income matter. Think about this. What happens if your job disappears? What happens if the economy slows? What happens if your company downsizes? If your entire financial life depends on one paycheck, that's a lot of pressure on one source of income. Successful entrepreneurs often build several streams of income over time. Maybe it's investing, maybe it's real estate, maybe it's an online business, maybe it's consulting, maybe it's affiliate marketing, maybe it's network marketing, maybe it's digital products. The goal isn't to chase everything. The goal is to build income that doesn't rely on only one employer. Ask yourself, if one source stopped tomorrow, would I be okay? Section 7. The power of network marketing. Now let's address something that often gets misunderstood. Network marketing isn't for everyone. Just like real estate isn't for everyone. Just like owning a restaurant isn't for everyone. But here's what many people overlook. A good network marketing business can teach valuable entrepreneurial skills: communication, leadership, sales, marketing, goal setting, personal development, team building. Many successful entrepreneurs got their first business experience through this model. The key is finding a legitimate company with products or services that provide real value, understanding the compensation plan, and committing to learn the business rather than expecting instant results. The business itself doesn't create success, the person does. Section 8. Successful people think differently. Have you noticed something? Successful people usually ask different questions. Instead of asking, how much does it cost? They ask, what's the return? Instead of asking, what if I fail? They ask, what if I succeed? Instead of asking, can I do this? They ask, how can I learn to do this? Those are powerful questions, because better questions lead to better decisions. Section 9. You don't have to quit your job. One of the biggest myths about entrepreneurship is that you have to quit your job immediately. That's simply not true. Many successful business owners started part-time. They built evenings, weekends, during lunch breaks. One customer became 5, 5 became 20, 20 became 100. Over time, the business grew. Your job can fund your dream. Your paycheck can become the investor in your future business. You don't have to choose one or the other on day one. Section 10. Your biggest investment. People invest in cars, phones, vacations, clothes. But how many invest in learning new skills? Books, courses, mentors, business education, personal development. The greatest investment you'll ever make is in yourself. Because once your knowledge increases, nobody can take that away. Conclusion. So let me leave you with a few questions. What has fear cost you? What opportunity have you been putting off? If nothing changes over the next 5 years, will your financial life be better or exactly the same? The difference between employees and entrepreneurs isn't always talent. Often, it's simply the willingness to take the first step. No one starts knowing everything. Every successful entrepreneur began as a beginner. The question isn't whether entrepreneurship is right for everyone. The real question is, are you willing to explore opportunities that could change your financial future? Only you can answer that. If this video challenged the way you think about income, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on entrepreneurship, personal development, and creating multiple streams of income. I'd also like to hear from you. What's the biggest reason you think most people never start a business? Leave your answer in the comments. And if you're someone who's open to learning about legitimate ways to create an additional stream of income alongside what you're already doing, check the information in the description. There may be an opportunity that's worth exploring. Remember, changing your financial future begins by changing your financial mindset. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.